And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another stadium review. Back. I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but finally got out to see a new one. In fact, you just saw the vlog from it the other day, like maybe 2 days ago. I'm going to try and aim it to be like that. So, but yeah, the stadium in question here is called the Wings Event Center. And you might be thinking, oh, beat-ups, 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 or the Red Wings, Red Wings, Red Wings. No. It's it's the home arena for actually the Kalamazoo Wings. They're a affiliate hockey team of the Vancouver Canucks, actually. But they used to be for the Red Wings, and they moved around. That's why they're in Kalamazoo. But a nice little staple for the community. But this arena is not very large, so not a huge arena, but I do have some notes on it that I kind of touched on maybe in the vlog, and also I'm going to talk a little bit more about here, plus a few other things that I took notes on. So got a lot of thoughts on it. Let's jump right into it, shall we? First off, one of the bigger issues with this arena is getting there. This arena has a terrible, and I mean terrible, parking setup. The arena is not located in like a massive downtown area by any means. Kalamazoo is not a huge city. It's one of the bigger cities in Michigan, though. It's home to Western Michigan University, so it's got that. This arena is not even anywhere close to the university in really context to like big arenas and stuff, which is just weird. It's like in this like middle shopping area with a lot of narrow roads that are not very conducive for game traffic, even for a stadium this size. I believe the stadium only can seat like maybe 6,000 people, and it still makes it very tough with traffic getting to the arena. And not even just getting to the arena, going in the arena is not very quick either. Because they had the bag, at least the door we went in, there was the bag check, like where you check your stuff. I guess they have a bag policy, but like you go in one door, like here's the door you go in, right? This is where the gate, where the metal detector is, right? So you're kind of doing like a switchback thing, and it just doesn't make it like a good flow of people to get into the arena. It's not very large either, and it just doesn't seem like it was very well designed. I don't know what they were really thinking there, but everything about it is just very congested, very narrow, and it can be pretty stressful as well. That's one of the bigger gripes I have about this arena. But the narrow pathways do not just go with the parking, the roads leading up to the arena. Actually, it goes with the concourse as well. This is one of the tightest concourses that I think I've ever seen in an arena ever. You think like other arenas that I've reviewed, Little Caesars Arena, the Breslin Center, it's an arena, I guess, technically as well. Even Munn, even like Ford Field and all that places as well. They don't have, it's not like a roadway wide, right? But they're, conducive to high levels of traffic, especially in the pre-games and like during the warm-ups and stuff like that. Maybe in the intermissions where you're going to want people walking around. Not here. It is very tight. You can maybe even go 4 wide, maybe, and that's pushing it, really. It was just very compact, and did not like it at all. It just made it really hard to walk around the arena, to do a lap around the arena, and there's not a lot to see on the concourses, right? It's not like a huge deal. But maybe you want to do a lap around. Maybe if you, like us, first timers at the place, we wanted to see what we were doing. And we just couldn't. And that was annoying. As far as the rest of like the structure of the arena, it's very much an older style arena. Not like super old. There's definitely some newer parts as well, and they definitely do a good job of trying to maintain it. But some of the places were out of date. There was a lot of signage that really felt out of date. Some of the facade just didn't look super new. The scoreboard wasn't as bad as like Van Andel. However, it was not like super new either, but it did its job. It was a nice little scoreboard, so It definitely could use some renovation, but they seem to have taken a good care of it, so I think they'll keep it around for a little while longer. But yeah, that's just what I thought. One thing I did like though was how the seats are structured. They are not too steep, but they're steep, but they structure them in a way where you're not, your view isn't obstructed by the people in front of you. And in turn, you're not obstructing the people's view behind you. Unless you're like 8 feet tall or something like that, or like you stick your hands up like this the whole time. It's not really going to be an issue. It's pretty nice though. I did like that. It's a nice little touch. Even some of the bigger, newer arenas in Michigan and even around the country don't do that, but this arena did, and I really, really like that. One of the good things I guess I could talk about with this arena, and also one of the more bad things, is the concessions and the food options. The good thing is that there's a lot of food options. There's a very, very wide variety of places. The concourse can be very narrow, but it's packed with a lot of different concession places. So none of the concession places really had a super long line because there was a lot of places to eat up the crowds. But there was a lot of variety and even some cool options. Like there's some cool like cheesy tater tot thing. I've never seen that at a arena before. You got your generic stadium food and of course all the alcohol. But a lot of it was really, really cool as well. Like there's like a bar area, all this sort of stuff. Is really, really unique. The problem is the concession prices are egregious. Explain to me why you have to charge $20 for a stadium souvenir cup when MSU charges, I want to say, $9. I think you can get like a pop for $6. Big ass pop too, 32-ounce pop for $6. And you're choosing 20 for a cup. That better be a cool looking cup. Oh, I should say. Some of the prices were not, none of them were as egregious as that, but they were quite pricey, especially for what you're getting for the arena. Like if it was a big ass, like NHL game, right? Maybe like a Vegas Golden Knights game. That's one thing, right? But this is a minor hockey affiliate of the Canucks, okay? You couldn't have brought them, it just doesn't make it economically sensed, in my opinion. I did say how earlier that sometimes the concession lines were eaten up. That wasn't always the case. I noticed that especially with the beer. The food lines I thought were fine. The beer was a big problem, and they emerged into the crowd. And like I said earlier, that just adds to the congestion with the already narrow walkways. So. Some of the stuff in the arena, in my opinion, are also very placed in like weird areas. Like the team store. It doesn't feel like a permanent team store. It feels like they just set a few things up in like an open gate area and closed off a couple doors and just said, yeah, this is where we're going to have the team store. There was a few other things that just felt out of place. It didn't really seem like they had taken a lot of conducive thought to make everything put together. But I did like the store selection, though, going towards the store. There was a good amount of selections for NHL team merch. I mean, I think I saw every team got represented with, like, hats and stuff like that. There's also a really good selection of K-Wings merch as well. They call them the K-Wings. I thought there was a good selection of, like, hats, shirts, jerseys, pins. We got a pin. That was pretty cool. So I like that. And it's a nice variety. Something for everybody, you know? What about the environment, though? Let's talk about the environment of the game. There were a lot of promotions that they did, or a lot of like cool things when there was a break in the action. And they do a good job of collaborating with a lot of businesses. They partner with Culver's for a power play, which is a weird partnership, I will admit. They work together with like beer companies and stuff like that. The local casino, Firekeepers Casino, have you ever heard of that? They do a lot of stuff with them as well. And I think a lot of the activities did a good job of keeping the guests of the arena entertained, especially because the team kind of sucked at the beginning of the game. People might get disinterested, and reeling them back in with the giveaways and ways to keep going. That's really, really good, and they do a great job of that. So, and they were fun to watch as well. They did a lot of cool games and a bunch of other stuff, which was nice. But the crowd, man, this is one of the more intense, loud, passionate crowds that I have seen in a hockey game and a sporting event in general. The announcer too gets very involved. He's very good at what he does. He does a great job of getting the crowd going as well. Like I said, barely 6,000. I think the attendance this night just cracked a little over 5,000. And they were loud as can be. It was very entertaining, especially when they made a comeback at the end of the game. Almost came all the way back from a 4-goal deficit to force overtime. They were loud, they were intense, and I'm sure that helped with the home ice environment. Really, really good. The goal horn is also extremely loud. I don't know if that's just because where we were sitting, but it was very, very loud. One of the louder ones that I've ever heard. Having gone to Munn, Little Caesars arena as well. Those are the other 2 hockey arenas I've been to. It was definitely the loudest out of the 3, I will say. And that's really all I gotta say about the Wings Event Center. With some renovations and stuff, and its location's not that great either. So there's not a whole lot they can do about it with maybe some infrastructure upgrades. But overall, we still had a really fun time at the game. And I definitely would consider going back. And it's a lot of fun. If you're in the area and are looking for a fun night out and you're a hockey fan or just a sports fan in general, a K-Wings game is definitely something that you should do, given the right price and give good time. Just keep in mind the parking dilemma. Keep in mind the prices for concessions, and you should be okay for sure. So for this arena, for the Wings Event Center, my final score, I'm probably gonna have to give it a good 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but it does have quite a few flaws that I think it needs to be improved. But a really, really fun time. So thank you, Wings Event Center, for a good time. But that's going to do it for this video. If you've ever been to the Wings Event Center, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. And that's also going to do it for this video, so stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more stadium reviews. I do plan on going to more racetracks and stadiums in 2024. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.